everybody. So I'm coming back with a new video tonight. Sorry it's been a while since I last filmed. I was trying to get on a more consistent schedule, but then my car broke down, so that's been a whole other issue, so we're trying to get that fixed, but I figured I'd come on and do a quick makeup look today. Today, the eyeshadow palette that we're using is going to be the Urban Decay Naked Honey. We are going to do kind of a golden summer glowy goddess type look. Summer's coming up pretty soon. I have a feeling this is going to be a look I'm going to wear quite often. So here's how we're going to do it. I've already washed, moisturized, and primed my face. I primed today using the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Protector 4-in-1 Glow. I just put a light layer all over my face, and as you can see, it made it really glowy. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our Wet n Wild contour stick and figure out which side is the contour side. And we are going to contour. So I'm just going to contour right here. I'm keeping the contour pretty high to lift my face, and then under the jaw where natural shadows are, you see, and then my double chin, I'm gonna contour that too, and then my forehead, and get the bangs out of the way. I have a pretty small forehead, so I don't have to contour that a lot. And then just a little bit around the nose. Something like that. And then just across the, yeah, like that. And then to help blend the contour out, I'm going to use this e.l.f. Flawless Brightening Concealer. This is in the shade Light 28. This is a little too dark for my skin tone, so I'm just gonna kind of put it right under and right on top of the contour. It's too dark for my under eyes, but it's good for my face. It's also a little yellow, so I'm kind of putting it, you know, right there. Anywhere I don't want as much contour, but I want a little darker contrast. And then for the rest of the face, I'm going to use Fair 10, which is the lightest shade. And I'm going to put that like right there, my under eye. Yes, I do a lot. And around my chin. And my forehead. Anywhere you want to really brighten and bring forward. And then if you need a little extra coverage like I do, I'm going to use the e.l.f. Camo Concealer in the shade Fair Beige. And just put a dot there, a dot there, a dot there, dot on each side of my nose, and right there. And that'll be enough to blend out everywhere. So first thing, I'm going to take a brush to blend out the contour shades. And just blend those out really nicely. And then yeah, I know, it looks crazy when you hold your bangs out of the way, but if you pin them up, generally, you're going to see the pin marks in your bangs. And I don't necessarily want that. Okay, so you've got your contour blended in now, for the most part. We're going to take this brush, the smaller brush, and we're going to blend in the highlighting shades. Just like that. And then And you see, well, we didn't blend in all the contour because we still have contour on our nose, but you know what I meant. We got most of the contour blended in, and then we'll blend in the rest of that contour here in a second with an even smaller brush. And we're just gonna kind of come up the side of your temple here and pull up. And it looks crazy right now, I'm not gonna lie. It does look a little insane. It does not look very blended or anything, but that's okay. We're gonna go over the eyelids and make sure we take off a lot of that discoloration. That'll help. And then blend down the nose. And then all you have to do is just gently, after you've blended everything else out, just gently go over top of where that contour is. And then if you need to, go back in with your contour brush and deepen it up. Because you can do that. Because this is your face, you can do it however you want to do it. You just want to make sure you're bronze to the gods. And I just want to make sure that everything is nice and blended, because once everything is nice and blended, it kind of helps. It helps to have everything nice and blended. Just like that. And you see it, and make sure you've blended it. Even if you think you've blended it really, really well, go back and blend again. I've had to do it that way. A lot of us will have, and will do more. I think for now, that's a good place to start. Now we're gonna go on to the eyes. And I'm just gonna squeeze out some Milani eyeshadow primer. I like this eyeshadow primer. I like also the NYX Glitter Glue primer. I really love that one if you have more shimmery shades that you wanna make sure really stay in place. Otherwise, this one works really well. I'm just putting it on top of that concealer that we put there. And yes, I know a lot of people say, you know, don't put product on top of concealer, but I like to mix the primer and the concealer. I think it does better for my eyes that way. I just got a damp blush right here to take off any excess. And I'm just gonna make sure everything is smoothed out. Now, we're gonna open up our palette. And we are going to go into the shade called Flyby, which is the lightest shade right here. And I'm just going in with my finger because I like the way this shade applies best with my finger. And we're just going to go all over the lid. Because we're going to be blending other shades on top of it. And I want them to blend really well and really softly, so that's why we're doing it this way. Because I kind of want to give it a worn in type look. It doesn't have to be like super perfect. Because we're going to do like early 2010s kind of Victoria's Secret goldy smoky eye. That's something I loved and was never able to accomplish. And I think I've kind of figured out what they did. Okay, so we're going to take the next deepest shade called Sweet. And we're going to put that kind of just closer to the lid and to the lashes. Just kind of all over the mobile lid, the lower part of your lid here. And just with a big kind of, or a fluffy-ish kind of brush, just keep it along that lash line, mobile lid area. If you have to go in with your finger, do it. And there you go. And I'm gonna go in with a slightly fluffier brush just to kind of blend it up to the socket line. We don't want it going too far up the socket, but yeah. There. And then if you need to, go ahead and make sure your concealer doesn't get messed up, like mine did a little bit right here. Take your concealer brush and just go back under your eyes. Now, take that really small, fluffy brush and go into one of the darker shades. We're going to go into Drip. And we're really going to focus that just on the outer half of the lash line and up into the socket line. Coming in on the lash line all the way into the inner corner if you want, but don't forget to bring it up into that socket. Just the outer half of the socket though. Because this will give you kind of a cat eye shape. Take your big fluffy brush and blend. Just like that. And then you're ready for liner. You don't have to do liner this quickly if you want to keep on deepening it. I think I'm about ready for liner, so I'm just going to take the darkest shade in the palette, which is Sting, this dark brown. And I'm just going to smudge it along the lash line. And come up in the outer corner a little bit. And then you can put a really pretty gold shimmer shade in the inner half. See? And then we're gonna just kind of fill up that brush and like I said, go in the outer corner here. And then if you want to, you can even go in with a smaller, fluffier brush that we've been blending with and blend that into the outer half of the lid, or half of the crease, I mean. And then go in with a bigger, fluffier brush to blend. And then to take a little more of that Milani eyeshadow primer and just pump it on the back of your hand. You don't need much. Take that small flat shader brush that you use for the really dark eyeshadow. Wipe off the excess. If you have another brush, just grab another flat shader brush. I don't know where mine's at right now. I'm in the process of cleaning. We're gonna go with the shade Amber here, which is a really pretty, beautiful gold, bronzy gold. It's gorgeous, and I'm just gonna pick some of that up on my shader brush, mix it in with the primer, pick up a little more and mix it in, and then we're gonna apply that to the inner half of our eye. So like so. And sometimes it's easier if you go in with your finger and do it. And then you can always go back, and if you need to add a little more dark brown or even a little bit of a black, I would say you could do that. I wouldn't go with a whole lot of black just because that can really go crazy, but and then you do the same on the other eye. And then again with your finger, do the same. And then whatever shade you decide of gold to use, I would take a similar shade that's a matte and put that on top of it in the crease just to make sure everything is blending like you want it to. So take your smaller fluffy brush, again, make sure there's no residue or very little. I'm going to take the shade called Keeper, which is right behind Amber, and I'm going to just kind of go on top of where I put Amber and on top of that dark brown. And then I'm going to take this small fluffy brush and go back into Sting. And even into Queen, which is this kind of greeny kind of color, to kind of help blend that with the dark brown. And make sure your base steps are still looking good. You don't want any fallout. And here's where you would decide, okay, is my contour strong enough? Am I bronzed enough for this look? Because let me tell you something. As somebody who has always been extremely fair, doing a look like this, you want to make sure that you're compensating for the intensity of the eyes with the skin and making sure everything has a balance to it of light and dark. I think I could use a little more bronze, so I'm going to go the e.l.f. Putty Bronzer. Of course, this does not have a shade, but that's what it looks like. And I'm gonna go into this, just tapping in and then coming in on top of the skin as it is. And kind of giving it a little more. You don't want to pick up what's already there, you're just wanting to add a little. There. And then just take your other brush and just kind of blend in on top of what you added. That way everything looks and feels seamless. Next up is eyebrows. I'm going to put in the Wet n Wild Brow Sessive in the shade Blonde first. And I'm just gonna kind of comb it through my brows. That doesn't add a whole lot of color to my actual natural brows, but that's okay. And then I'm gonna go in with this Wet n Wild, or the e.l.f. Instant Brow Lift Pencil in the shade Taupe. And just kind of fill in a little where I need. I don't like super dark brows, but I do like darker than white brows. Because I have very, very, very fair looking eyebrows anyway, so I always like to darken them. And yes, sometimes I might go a little tiny overboard when darkening, but you know, hey. None of us are perfect. We all have our things that we do that other people don't like, and it's fine. Okay. So there's my brows. There's really the finality of my skin, save a few steps. I'm not going to put on liner because I feel like that's going to distract from the look too much, and I don't want that. Next up, we're going with blush for a golden goddess kind of bronzy look. You don't want to go with like a super pink blush or a super cool pink. You don't want to go with a cool pink. You want something more orangey, something with more warmth. So we're going to go with the Benefit California blush. And we're just going to go right into it and go right here. In fact, a lot of people who do these super bronzed looks don't use a lot of blush. And I love blush. Blush makes me look like I'm alive, so I don't really skip it, but I make sure it matches with the tone of the look I'm going for. And then I just you want to kind of make it look lived in, a little sunburnt maybe. Also, go on the nose. Put your bronzer and your blush on your nose because that's going to give you the most realistic bronze goddess look. Now, from here, you can either go straight for mascara or you can do your lips first. I guess we can go ahead. Let's go ahead and do mascara before I forget because that's a big thing with me. I'll forget mascara in a heartbeat. I need it and I shouldn't forget it, but I do. So get in close. I'm not going to curl my lashes tonight because I'm lazy. And this is just the Essence Waterproof Lash Princess False Lash Effect. It was the only waterproof one they had because I cannot wear regular mascara. They either flake off or they melt or a lot of not fun stuff for me. And actually this one does it just as bad as non-waterproof formulas on me. So I don't wear it often. Especially if I'm looking for any longevity out of my look. My favorite is the Maybelline Waterproof Sky High Total Lash Sensation. I love this mascara. And I'm just going to put a layer on top of that Essence mascara. And if you have brown eyes, wearing golds and honey colors on your eyes will make your eyes pop. It'll do one of two things. It'll either make your eyes look brighter and more honey golden, or it'll make your eyes look darker. I notice when I wear purple, my eyes look darker, but when I wear like this kind of color, it makes them look more honey. So, and excuse me, my nose is running off. Don't know why, but it is. Next up is lips. I've already exfoliated my lips before we got started. I'm going to go in with the Revlon Colorstay Longwear Lip Liner in the shade Natural or Neutral. That's what it looks like. And it doesn't give me a lot of color. It almost gives me like the concealer lips look. But I love wearing it under other colors. I have pretty dark pigmented lip colors, so I have naturally very pigmented lips. So the fact that this can take those on. And then because I've got a very kind of peachy, warm kind of look, I'm going to go with the Rare Beauty Dewy Lip Balm in the shade Praise, which is a very peachy color. I'm just gonna go like, it's kind of a natural peach. And that is my summer goddess look. So thank you. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you'd like to see more videos like this. Just comment, like, subscribe. It really means a lot to me, and I look forward to seeing you guys again next time. Thanks. Bye.